This is me 1 year after I started my telekinesis training. Keep watching if you want to find out how I got here. But first, I want you to think about the forces of nature. Thunder, lightning, hurricanes, tornadoes. Would you believe me if I said you have a power greater than every force of nature? The power of the human mind. Now just to recap a little from my last video, I woke up one night to a knock at the door and found this mysterious book had been left on my doorstep. Just touching the book sent a jolt of energy through my body, and when I opened it, I found it was titled The Secret History of Psychokinesis. After studying and training my telekinetic powers for 3 months, I was finally able to make a connection and move this match telekinetically. So I wanted to see if I could do it again, but this time I needed to control the experiment, so I covered it with a glass dish. I was going to make sure that the match couldn't be affected by wind or the AC or basically any forces outside of my mind. I applied everything I'd learned from the book, and sure enough, it worked again. This gave me the confidence to push myself harder. You know the expression mind over matter? One of the most famous examples has to be walking over hot coals. Firewalking is the act of walking barefoot over a bed of hot embers or stones. This is a practice that dates back to 1200 BC. Now, of course, there may be scientific factors as to how people do this without feeling the pain of the fire, like the thermal conductivity of the embers or the high specific heat capacity of water. But truthfully, the reason they can walk over these embers is because they believe they can. That does not mean that you should try this or that if you believe you can fly, then you'll fly. It's not that simple. And what about placebos? Placebo effect is when a patient is not given real medication, but rather they're given a placebo, a substitute. Often, the patient feels better and may well show physical improvement, but why would it help if they weren't given real medicine? Because they believed it would work. Now, the placebo effect is presumably psychogenic, yet it can induce measurable changes in the body. The fact is, our minds have the ability to surpass reality and even influence reality. The book makes it clear that life is a constant exchange of energy, whether that's positivity between you and a loved one or animosity between you and a competitor. But this energy exchange is not only between people or even between living things. The energy exchange exists between literally everything. So, in order to move an object with a thought, you need to understand that you aren't moving that object, you're moving the particles it's made of. And it's made of the same particles as you. Therefore, in order to move the object, all you need to do is move yourself. Don't think you can do it. No, you can do it. But telekinesis is like everything else in life that you try to achieve. It's not easy. It takes a lot of trying and failing and trying and failing again. And you can fail 999 times. But if you keep going, on the 1000th time, you might just succeed.